I was 7 years old when I first saw the ad for Dragon Ball Z on TV, and I don't know why I decided to watch, but here I was on the day of its premiere, sitting on my bed falling in love with these characters, especially Goku. Little did I know that from that point on, I would go on to spend thousands of dollars and spend my whole childhood collecting Dragon Ball stickers, action figures, video games, and so much more. I even drew hundreds of Dragon Ball drawings. uh, so all I'm trying to say is that I love Dragon Ball. So let's talk about its problem. My name is Ishan.
Cancel.
Problem number one. This Dragon Ball has Dragon Balls. Wow. So these Dragon Balls are, it's quite obvious. This is the one of the easiest obvious problems. These lead to lack of tension and consequences because death doesn't matter in this universe. Anyone who dies can be brought back into life, so there's no actual consequence. But this problem was exaggerated later on the other halves of Dragon Ball. Let's talk about first about Dragon Ball. In Dragon Ball, that was still very important because collecting Dragon Balls was a very difficult task. Our main cast members, including Master Roshi, Goku, Krillin, etc., weren't that strong that they could collect Dragon Balls. So it used to be a really big task, and also there used to be a limit up to which you can. I think that limit was 2. Up to no, that limit was once you can be brought back to life, next time you can't. There was just one get out of jail free card, one extra life, so it still kind of mattered, and you didn't used to feel that much like that much like there's no tension, like oh there's still tension, like oh if next time he dies, a person dies, and you're like okay, if he still has a chance but he doesn't have an extra life, oh my god, and then he dies, then you're like oh my god, he's gone forever. So but in Z it was still very good. This formula of getting an extra life was still decent enough, but then the Namek Frieza saga happened. Namekian Dragon Balls were introduced, and we were and later on then they gave the dragon, reconstructed the dragon, and gave the multi-rays, infinite life bars, shit like that. So this problem was exaggerated, and later, and our cast members Goku, Vegeta, Krillin, Gohan, Piccolo, etc., were so strong that they could literally like collect the whole all Dragon Balls in probably like a second or two. I'm not kidding. It's very easy. And in Super this became even more easy because like they got even more stronger, but that wasn't an issue. But Whis also got that reviving power. He revived Frieza and at the end of the tournament power. So the concept of consequence in terms of Dragon Balls doesn't exist. But also Whis and Beerus also lead to the lack of tension and consequence. So the two examples that I would like to talk about is the Resurrection F movie, Frieza, and the Broly movie. Let's talk about the Frieza one. During that fight, anyone of you that are watching, did you ever thought that Frieza would win against Goku? Even if he won against Goku, were you actually threatened by Frieza? Because Beerus was there, Whis was there, and Frieza was actually kind of afraid of Beerus, and obviously Whis then. So there wasn't actual tension in that moment. And same with Broly. In Broly, yeah, Beerus and Whis are not exactly present during the fight, especially Beerus, but you even get to see by the end of the Broly movie where Beerus is like, oh, so everything was fine by the end. You get that idea that if Goku and Vegeta couldn't handle the situation, Beerus would step in and handle the situation for them and defeat, maybe probably kill Broly. So that was a problem. Like because of these characters, there's a lot of lack of tension. And there's one more character who leads to this lack of tension problem, probably the most, and his name, or her, it's probably a his, right? Yeah, it's a his, Zeno, and that Zeno button. And you got to see what can happen, what that lack of tension and consequence consequences can lead to by the end, what happened by the end of the Goku Black arc. It made sense, the whole Zeno button made sense, so I like it because that makes sense, but it completely led to lack of tension, and it can still lead to lack of tension. Goku has basically God, actual God of this universe, on his call, on his speed dial, basically. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. And before I go to the second problem, the second problem is a little bit more not so obvious problem than the first one. I want to say, please like, share, subscribe. I don't have any money, please. Moving on. The story is not maturing. The story of Dragon Ball is not maturing with its audience. Let's start. Dragon Ball started as a gag manga, like comedy and shit like that. Eventually, it grew into more martial arts and fighting, and Z expanded upon that fighting and martial arts and space, I guess. And Super didn't expand on literally it expanded the universe in a way, but didn't expand on literally anything. So Super became more of a joke. It took away serious Goku, martial artist Goku. It took away blood, gore from a fight. It took away serious moments. It took away that proper crisp, sharp animation. Basically, what I am trying to say is that Dragon Ball was a simple anime in a way, and it was maturing with its audience. From Ball, then by the end of Ball, from start of Z, by the end of Z, it was maturing in my opinion, and it was very well matured to some extent. But since the audience of Dragon Ball is aging, the thing that they did wrong was they made Super the opposite of the concept of maturing. It was de-aging. Goku became dumber, which I can never forgive them for that. I can never forgive them for that. Goku became dumber. So the audience, like I am their audience, we are getting older, and other people are there, older people than me are there, also their audience. They're way older than me, so they're also getting older. We want to see more of a complex story, not just a simple fight. His power level is higher, so he wins. His power level is lower. We want a little bit more complex fights, more strategic fights. Like, just for example, a little bit the creators or writers of Dragon Ball, whoever is designing them at this point, can get somewhat inspired by the fights of early Naruto, or maybe even Shippuden. Like, they should get inspired that even if the opponent was stronger, strategy used to play a very important role. Weaker one could win if he plays or she plays his or her cards right. So they need to mature. They need to make this story complex, not Hunter x Hunter complex, but still at least Naruto level complex. So they are the Super is actually the opposite of what it should be. Actually, it should become even more complex, more mature in its tone. And I understand that they want Super. It's technically a new anime. They want Super to be more like easily accessible, enjoyable to kids. I get that. But they're one of their primary audiences in a way is their older nostalgic audiences, right? Probably right. Okay, let's be honest, it's true, probably. But if those people want to watch like not that serious stuff, they can go back to Dragon Ball. If they don't like the animation because it's kind of old school in a way, though it gets good. Like, to be honest, Saiyan Saga animation eventually starts getting really good. Before that, it's okay, but with that Vegeta Goku fight, and from that point on, it's kind of good. Frieza, Goku, Cell Saga, Buu Saga, my favorite animation style, sharp, defined, and shit like that. But they need to then they can provide, then those kids, new gen, I guess, can watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. Better animation, less blood, almost no filler. Though Dragon Ball filler is kind of good, Piccolo, Goku driving and other stuff. But they can watch that, and then they can also grow up and eventually go up to the Z part, then eventually a matured Super part, which they will also enjoy. but they are not able to do this, though they are trying. I feel like they are trying in some way, not exactly, but they are somewhat trying, because Z was a story not about Goku, honestly. It was a story of Gohan, it was a story of Vegeta, and it was somewhat of a story of Piccolo. Like, first half of somewhat earlier Z was the end of Piccolo's major story, and the last half of Dragon Ball was the start of Piccolo's story. So it had a lot of character development also. But Super is basically a Goku show, where he has to be in the story almost all of the time, and sometimes not that, but then it has to be Vegeta got a lot of character development in Super. That's actually really good. But let's be honest, a lot of other people need character development. Goat and Trunks need so much character development. Gohan needs character development. Piccolo needs character development. Speaking of Piccolo, now when I said that that Toei and other smaller, bigger companies who are involved in Dragon Ball's production, Super's production, I think they understand that people need a little more complex story than a simple one where Goku has to be the center of everything, or if not Goku, then Vegeta at worst. Sorry, they tried Dragon Ball Super, and it's basically a Piccolo movie. It's not a Gohan movie. It's basically a Piccolo movie, and Gohan is kind of a side character, to be honest. And I really enjoy and respect what Toei was trying to do. In my opinion, the movies, if you are a Dragon Ball fan, you can watch it once. In my opinion, it's not that great, but since it's the actual first step in a movie which doesn't involve Goku or Vegeta, basically mainly Goku, it's not that bad. That's the best that I can say. I hope that it gets better if they focus more on the side characters, the movies or TV shows, TV series arcs they do. It gets better. It probably should, but that's all I have to say. I really love Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. I even like GT. I like Super, but as I said, need to grow up. Super needs to grow up. Now it's time to grow up. At least now. Okay, show us blood. Show us more crisp, sharp animation. Show like Goku can lose. Not every time, every ending needs to be a happy ending. Just imagine by the end of Resurrection F, Frieza ended up destroying planet Earth. And that was the end. And we still in that bullshit time reverse thing. Okay? And that was the end, and there starts a new arc from where these all people survived, and now they're going for a revenge against Frieza. It would have been so much cooler. So Super, grow up. That's all I have to say. I love you, Dragon Ball. Love you to death, honestly. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like, share, subscribe, comment. And I don't think I mentioned this in the video. My name is Ishan. So thank you for watching. I'll see you. I literally wrote the beginning of this video's monologue, the thing that happened, the monologue. I literally wrote this shit down. Like, I cannot speak all of this. Like, even if it's just one paragraph, I cannot speak all of this in just a single get-go. I needed to read it and do a voiceover of it. Like, either I could do this or I could do a voiceover. That was much cooler version of it. So that was my first voiceover in a way. So thank you for watching.